Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. It is the road trip as Manchester United take on Lyon at Old Trafford in the second leg of the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Amorim's biggest game in charge of United. United's biggest game of the season. And honestly, Mords, I am nervous. How are you feeling?
I agree. I mean, you asked me before we started, like, do I think we're going to win? And in my heart, as a United fan, as a true Red, in my heart, we're going through. This is like a typical United night where we just like defeat all odds, and for some reason we just get, over the line and then we're going through to the next round. So I really want that special, European night to happen tomorrow.
If pathetic fallacy is anything to go by, the weather ain't looking good.
Yeah.
Honestly, we are drenched. The wind has knocked us like side to side. We have been through the lot this morning, but we're still bringing you the content because we are dedicated. But hopefully all of this, going against the players and the media that's been talking about United and the players and all the criticism they got after the Newcastle game, hopefully they bundle all that up and they say, you know what, we are Manchester United. We want to be playing in the Champions League next season. We want a bump up in our pay as well because they get a bit of extra pay next season if they're in the Champions League. And Ruben Amorim himself said in the press conference, Mords, that we've just watched, that the current team isn't good enough to compete in the Premier League or in the Champions League next season, but they've got a summer, they're going to bring new players in and then he'll be more confident. How as a player in the current United squad, if you're hearing that, how does that make you feel? And does that make you even more determined to go out tomorrow and prove everyone wrong? Yeah,
I can understand in terms of like confidence-wise, you don't really want to hear that from your manager, but at the same time, they should know this. Like, you're 14th in the Premier League. You've had very difficult games this season against lower opposition. They should know that they've not been performing to the standards that we expect them to perform at. So,
but are they capable of performing, or is it just they're just not good enough? Because Ruben Amorim did seem to think that he needs new players to make it function, and we would agree with that, but it's hard to hear as a player in that squad.
100%, but as a player, do you not feel, you should always feel like you're good enough. Right? You're at Manchester United, you should have the mentality of, I'm at the biggest club in the country, one of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm not here by accident. I've obviously worked my way to get here, and like I said, as a player, if I'm thinking it from their perspective, they should be thinking, look, I should deserve my place and I deserve to be here next season.
I agree with you, but I think that's what lets this team down a lot. I think the mentality is weak, and I think they struggle to overcome this like
hurdles.
They struggle to overcome hurdles, and they struggle to overcome the outside noise. I think a lot of the time it gets in their heads, the confidence is low, and I really do think that this affects the team. Do not get me wrong, if you ask me, do you think this United squad is good enough to compete in the top 4, even the top 6 in the Premier League? I would say no, but I do think they're better than what they're showing.
Yeah, 100%.
In front of goal, drastic levels need to go up, and we absolutely have to go into the transfer market all guns blazing to get better forwards in. The forwards simply aren't good enough, but the squad in general, I think, should be performing at a better level. And it should, as Andre and Anna said last week, we've got a lot of criticism for it, should be beating Lyon. I know it's rich, 14th place Manchester United saying they should be beating Lyon, but on paper, we should be, especially at Old Trafford. Realistically, Mords, United should have come back to Old Trafford with a nice 3-1 win, something along them lines, even a 2-1 win, but we should have gone on and scored more if we had the finishes there. And we shouldn't have conceded the goals we did. They should have been coming back here with a comfortable game in front of them. Instead, we're neck and neck, 2-2, it's all to play for. What do you think Amorim's message will be to the United players, like the game plan going into this game?
I think for Amorim, you've got to kind of bring a message in terms of, look, this might be your last important game for the season. Because it might be, let's be honest. After this, if they lose, they're out. Every other game after this in the Premier League, let's be honest, you kind of just clutching at straws. You kind of just want to... Yeah, it's pretty much a cup final, like you said. So his message is going to have to be, look, if you really want to be here, this is your most important game. It's my most important game, but for you, this is what's going to prove to me that you're good enough. It's what's going to prove to everybody else. You can shut up all the haters if you perform today. And I feel like that's something that the players really need to like understand and get in the mind when going out tomorrow for this game.
Do you think he's going to set up in a way to go at Lyon straight away? Do you think he's going to try and keep it quite tight and keep his defensive shape solid until maybe the second half? How do you think he'll approach it in terms of game plan?
Well,
how would you go about it as well?
I feel like because we're at home, you kind of can't sit back. We're at home, we're at Old Trafford. We have to go at them. We have to let them know that we're the home team. To be fair, but the they're like the underdogs. We're kind of the team, the favourites. That's what it's called. We're the favourites. So really and truly, they should be. I mean, I say, in terms of like size of the club and stuff like that, everyone expects Man United to do well. Everyone expects Man United to kind of, even if we're having a terrible season, we somehow go and end up winning trophies, even in poor season. So I kind of expect, they probably expect, you know what, yeah, come on, we are the team to dominate this game and actually go and get the win. And to be fair, when you're looking at other results this season, we've beaten Arsenal before. Yeah, we've beaten Arsenal. We've got a result against Liverpool. We've beaten Man City. You know, we've got some kind of big results, even when people have doubted us. So in their minds, they shouldn't kind of be thinking we've had a poor season. They should be thinking, you know what, we are capable of overcoming like these kind of difficult hurdles.
Speaking of that, so you think he's going to go out straight away in Old Trafford?
Yeah.
Do you think he'll start Casemiro and Ugarte pivot then? Or do you think he'll be a little bit more on the front foot and maybe go with a Ugarte Bruno, maybe a Bruno Casemiro, would switch it up a little bit?
I mean, that's a good question. I feel like, me personally anyway, I feel like I would go for more of an attacking approach. Even if that's starting either a Mount or a Mainoo or somebody else who can bring that attacking side to the game, I would go for with those kind of players. I think, yeah, for stability-wise, you might want to bring in a more defensive players, maybe like you said, an Ugarte, Casemiro. You want to kind of sit back, but we have to go at them. We have to let them know that we are the favourites and we want to win this game. We want to score 2, 3, 4 goals in this game and absolutely shut up the whole tie. So I'd go for a more attacking approach and start possibly, like you said, maybe a Bruno, a Mount, a Mainoo, or other attacking players. I
like that approach, and I would love to go for that approach, but I don't think that Ruben Amorim has the confidence in these players, especially the forward players, to put chances away. Yeah. So I think he will revert back to Casemiro and Ugarte. Yeah. And if you look at the Newcastle game, I'm not saying this was the reason, because I don't think it was, but he did go with Ugarte and Bruno, and we ended up conceding 4 goals. You know, the games that Casemiro and Ugarte have played together, it's still not been great, but defensively, we've not looked like conceding apart from, Onana mistakes. So in Lyon, technically, you've gone to Lyon, the way he coached the game and the way we played, we realistically shouldn't have conceded because both goals were Onana mistakes. Yeah. That's why I think he will go with Casemiro and Ugarte. However, I agree with you, at Old Trafford, especially when you're playing a back 5, because, people say it's a back 3 with wing-backs. A lot of the time, it ends up being a back 5.
You get pinned all the way back.
The fact you have to play 2 defensive mids in front of that is worrying, and other managers would get criticism for that. But I think the reason Amorim is going to do it is because this is a do-or-die game, and the last thing you want is to be conceding in that first half. You don't want to be doing it, and I don't think he has the confidence in his forward players to go and get him them goals and finish off the dinner, basically. So I think he'll go with Casemiro and Ugarte. Let's see what he does. Yeah. But ultimately, the starting 11, he said Onana's going to start. Huge game for Andre Onana. Yeah. He has to have redemption. Yeah. Do you trust him?
Do I trust Onana?
Do you believe in him for this game?
Do I believe in Onana? I mean, he asked me before, and I said, look, I believe in Amorim, but in terms of his goalkeeping ability, look, we always speak about how he's played in Champions League finals, he's won trophies, etc. He just needs to channel that inner, like the old Onana. I don't even know what the old Onana is, because I feel like since he's been here, he's been a different player, but he's just got to kind of remember what he used to be and remember like the big games that he's played before and kind of try and bring that into this kind of, this huge game tomorrow. So do I believe in him? I can't say 100%, I'll be honest, but I just hope he believes in himself to be able to take us over the line.
Also, Amorim is giving him this opportunity, and I think it's actually the right decision, I want to be honest. I really do. Obviously, there's not much to pick from, but I do think it is the right decision. He's put his confidence in Andre. Football can change very quickly. Yeah. He gets a good save early doors. He might go to penalties, he might be the saviour, and then perception changes, and you're getting all the credit. So when you do things that are poor, you're going to get the criticism off the fans, and he's got the criticism. If he has a good performance, fans will also praise him for that. So the ball is in his court. Back 3-wise, I think we agree it's going to be Mazraoui, Maguire, Yoro. I can see happening. Yeah. Midfield, I think it's going to be Casemiro, Ugarte. It might be Bruno, Ugarte. Who knows? But what I wanted to ask you, Mordzs, because we had a little bit of a conversation with this off camera. I mean, Amorim's just confirmed Xerxes will be out for the season.
Yeah, season, that's big.
If it was you, would you go Højlund up front, or would you be reverting to like a Kobe or Bruno false 9 situation?
It's the worst game to risk it. It is literally like the last game you'd think that you want Xerxes to be out for straight away. You kind of want a filler game kind of in between to kind of try something out to see if it works, but straight away we just have to try to figure something out. So if it was me, because of that, I would still go Højlund, just because that's just what I've seen. That's what I've seen the most. And we have won games with Højlund up front. Even though he might not do a lot, we've still won games with him up front. So it's not impossible for us to win. But like I said, if there was some kind of filler game to experiment, I would try somebody else. I don't know who it is. We've seen mainly play there a bit. We've seen Bruno, but I would try somebody else if there was that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And then, last but not least, we're going to get score predictions in a second, so get them ready and your goal scorers as well. Get yours in the comments down below. Who would your starting 11 be? Quickly, just names. Who would be your 2-10s?
2-10s. I like Martin Mainey.
Martin Mainey.
I like Martin Mainey.
Get in the comments down below. I think I'd go with Mainey and Garnacho and bring Mount on.
Yeah.
Lastly, when we played Lyon, was there anyone from that Lyon side, or did Lyon worry you in any way? Or
Yeah, actually did.
They did, yeah?
I actually think they did. Not a lot. They did.
Very technically good.
Yes, they've got good attacking players. That's my only thing. And they work their way into our box very easily sometimes. So I feel like that's their kind of their strength, just their attacking players. Obviously, Cherky, you know. They had one player, I don't know his name, but he was number 7. He was getting up very well as well. I had to figure out who it was. But they've just got a very good, like you said, technical players who can work their way through our midfield and into our box and create chances like that. So that is the kind of worry for me. Defensively, though, I feel like we can actually somehow get at them and get some goals, because we did get some good chances in that game. Yeah,
got to be compact. Is Mike going to get a round of applause from United fans? Might get a bigger applause than United.
Yeah, to be fair. Look, I don't know. If we lose, I'm sorry, I can't support Matic anymore, I'm sorry, because he's part of the reason why we lost.
Do you know what it is as well? Everyone can do their own thing. Anana has cost us. Oh, has he cost us? And he's been poor. We have to get behind him. He's in the sticks, and he could be the difference between getting through to the Europa League semi-final, then the final, then Champions League next year. Get behind our players. Yeah. Even if you don't think they're good enough, even if you need to go in the summer, which Amorim did allude to getting a new keeper in his press conference, he's got to back Anana out, and the fans have got to back him as well. Yeah. Last but not least, score prediction and goal scorers.
Score prediction, I'm going to say 2-1. Goal scorers, we don't have a Xerxes. I would have actually said Xerxes, but let me say Bruno, because, you know, it's Bruno. He'll probably get a penalty. And lastly, the second one, I think Bruno get the winner. The first one will come from like a Maguire header or something like that from a corner.
Ooh, I love that.
Maguire header, yeah.
I love that.
Or even a Lenny Euro goal. That's what I want to see, actually. A Lenny Euro goal.
I'm going to go with a 2-2 again.
Yeah.
And then a winner to make it 3-2 in extra time.
Okay.
Don't ask me who's scoring. Get in the comments down below who you think. But obviously Bruno's going to be involved because, let's be honest, he's involved in everything good for Manchester United. Yeah. Anyway, do you know what else I really hope? That Lyon bring the weather with them. What a difference this video is compared to when I was with Ricky last week.
Lyon was so
doing
good.
the road trip there. I had my sunglasses on, the sun was out, and now it's freezing. I'm shivering, I've got a headache, and that is Manchester for you.
Like, I mean, that's going to make it more difficult for them, so
bring the weather. Look, everyone, get your comments in down below. Smash a like on the video. Come on, United.
Come on, United.